Hello, my dear friends. You are welcome again to Succeeding God's Way with Austin Okosodo. Last episode, I started another series titled The Ultimate Purpose. And I did say that series may last for the next 4 or 5 episodes. For those who have not been or who are just joining us on this video, you have not been following our YouTube channel, I just encourage you to go back to all our videos. We have about 15 videos so far uploaded. This is about the 16th one. Take time to go back to the last episode and listen very well so that you can understand what we are talking about, because I'm starting from where we stopped last time. In the last episode, I did say to you that very point in life that you are calling your success point, your breakthrough level, you are seeing it as this is the fulfillment of the big dream that I saw many years ago. I am now a fulfilled person. I have arrived, and so on. I did say to you that when you arrive at such a point in life, that's the time for you to be very, very careful. Whereas you are thinking this is the destination, the money is flowing now, the fame, I have attained it, popularity, I'm known everywhere now, I have the political office, I'm not the CEO or the president of the organization, everything is under my control, and you just feel you have arrived, this is it. I let you know that is not where you are really heading. That point you are calling your point of success is actually just a platform given to you to do what? To fulfill what I call your ultimate purpose. And I did say that your ultimate purpose is the real purpose behind the purpose. It is that particular thing that in this life you are living, if you fail to achieve it or do it, despite all the other things you may have done or achieved, you will still not have succeeded. You will still be called a failure. Our Lord Jesus Christ came to the earth. He healed the sick. He raised the dead. He did all manner of good works. Can you imagine what would have happened if in the Garden of Gethsemane, when he was praying and saying, Lord, if it is possible, let this cup pass me by. Just imagine at that point when he was in pain and he was praying to the Father. He just realized that, man, I can't take this pain. It's too hard for me to bear. I can't go to this cross. He decided to change his mind and did not die again. Would he call him a success? Would he not have failed? I believe strongly that all the good things that Jesus Christ did, they were all part of his purpose for coming. But you see, going to the cross to pay the redemptive price, for me, is the ultimate purpose why Christ came. Without going to that cross to shed his blood, he would have been a failure. So that's what I'm talking about. For a person like Queen Esther, we read about Esther in the book of Esther in the Bible, who became a wife to the king. Why did he become a wife to the king? Why did God give her that kind of platform? Mordecai told her, when the life of the Jews were endangered, he told Esther, who knows, for such a time as this had God made you a queen. Yes, of course, that was true. God knew a time like that was coming, and so he positioned that young lady and made her a queen at that time. I believe also strongly that the ultimate purpose of Esther being a queen was to save the life of the people of Israel. That's it. Imagine Esther having a dream of becoming a great woman, becoming a queen, and all of them is fulfilled. She's now a queen. She sat in the palace there just enjoying herself, but not knowing the real reason why God gave her that platform. When the time came for her to rise up and fulfill her ultimate purpose, he tells them, no, I can't see the king at this time. It is dangerous to approach the king at this time unless he invites you to come. If I go, I will be killed. Just imagine that. Esther did not take the step she took. Now, so as I talk more about this ultimate purpose, you understand what happens when you are the arena to fulfill your ultimate purpose. There are so many things that happens around it. If you don't know it, you will not be able to fulfill or step into your ultimate purpose. You sit down in that platform created by God for you, and then you are just wondering, you are just enjoying it, thinking that yes, I've arrived. Whereas the journey is just about to begin for you. So today, let me take it further with the story of Joseph. I always love to use Joseph as an illustration because the life story of that young man helps us to truly understand better some of these things we are saying. Now, do you know that Joseph, like I said last time, he became the prime minister of Egypt. He had a dream, he would be a great man. Yes, he went further. God took him through so many things in life, and then eventually he became the prime minister of Egypt, like I mentioned in the last episode. Now he sits on that throne and is wondering, wow, I'm now a great man. The dream is fulfilled. And then he's thinking, well, I have arrived. At that point, did Joseph really know what his ultimate purpose really was? Why God actually gave him that throne? I believe somehow he may not have known. But however, the Bible did mention the ultimate purpose of Joseph. I'm going to read a portion of the book of Genesis to you to try to illustrate what I'm saying. What I want to let you know is this. Before you were born, God had already planned your life. Before you were born, you were even conceived by your parents. God has already planned your life. And there is something He has destined for you to do or to become on this earth. The real thing, sometimes nobody really tells you. Joseph had a dream and then he became the great man. But a platform had been given. That was just what he saw. But there's a purpose for that platform. That purpose is what I'm calling the ultimate purpose. If he had failed to fulfill it, Joseph would have still been a failure. Despite the fact that what he saw in the dream, he became it. Now, let me take you to Genesis chapter 15. You read verse 13 to 14. In that passage, 13 to 14, God was telling Abraham, He said, know for sure that the time will come when your descendants will be enslaved, will be slaves in a strange land, will be slaves in a strange land. They will be badly treated, and after a while, I will visit them and then take them out of that bondage, take them out of the land. He said He will bring them out with great wealth. Two people's ultimate purpose are mentioned there. That's what I believe. Number one, your descendant will be slave in a strange land. Who is going to take them to the strange land? One man will do that, take them to the strange land. Another man will take them out of the strange land. In that Genesis 15, verse 13 to 14. Now Joseph is the man that God has planned in future to take them into the strange land. And the man that will bring them out of the strange land after 400 years is going to be Moses. To me, I see that verse, or these two verses, as stating out clearly the purpose of Joseph and then the purpose of what? Moses. But this was years before they were ever born, about over 400 years before they were ever born, because Abraham was the one God was talking to here. Abraham will give birth to Isaac, Isaac will give birth to Jacob, and then Jacob will give birth to Joseph. Imagine how many years ahead. But the purpose of Joseph was already spoken of to Abraham. Let me tell you, my dear friend, your life is not just your life. Kingdoms are connected. The destiny of people are connected to your life. The destiny of kingdoms are connected to your life. Even the destiny of nations can be connected to your life. Your purpose as God has destined it may be that will affect nations, affect people, affect even the globe as a whole. So don't just think your life is just about you and you alone. Like simple we just say is I, me, myself alone. No, it's much more than that. Look at the purpose of Joseph here now. In future, he was going to be responsible for the movement of the entire family of Israel from Canaan into the land of Egypt, according to the prophecy given to Abraham by God. And in the dream that Joseph had, that aspect was not told him at all. He only knew that he would be a great man somewhere in future. But what the purpose was going to be for, he wasn't told there. But yet, there was a purpose attached to that. Despite all that Joseph was going to become, if he had failed to achieve that goal of moving the people of Israel into Egypt, he would have failed. He would not have fulfilled his ultimate purpose. Now, having said that, let me still go further. My time is a bit spent now. Joseph, for example, sat on the throne there. And at the end of the day, what happened? Like you know the story already. In Genesis, a day came when the famine came to the land. The land of Canaan was affected. The only place where you had food was the land of Egypt. And Jacob said to his sons, I heard there is corn over there in Egypt. You could go and buy, otherwise we will die here of starvation. Then the brothers came. They came to buy grains. You remember how the story went? Joseph was there on the throne. He saw people came to buy grains. He saw them and then he recognized them, but they did not recognize Joseph. He tested them once, twice, until he was sure of the state of their heart. And then he revealed himself to them. After he revealed himself to them, he gave a word in Genesis chapter 45 verse 9. He told them this famine had just started. It's still going to last for many more years. Go back to Canaan quickly. Go and bring my father. Bring all their children to come and stay with me here in Egypt. Do that quickly and don't delay. When Joseph opened his mouth and made that pronouncement, that was the point where Joseph stepped into his ultimate purpose. Go bring my father. And then you know the story when that all the family came. They came to live in the land of Egypt. That was where they stayed for 400 years before God took them out of the land. Joseph's ultimate purpose, for me, I believe strongly, was for him to move the people of Israel into the land of Egypt, as God has prophesied to Abraham. And when the time came for him to do that, he did it. He gave the order, bring them now to come and stay with me here in the land of Egypt where I am. And the moment Joseph did that, he stepped into his ultimate purpose. This is what I believe strongly. So my dear friend, that place where you are now is for a purpose. That position you are occupying now is for a purpose. That breakthrough you have right now is for a purpose. That financial level you have attained now is for a purpose. Have you discovered it? Have you found it? You need to ask God to help you. Ask God to guide you. I will continue from where I stop now because I intend to take this teaching bit by bit so that you can understand it. And then you know exactly what to expect and what step to take. So this is where I'll stop it for today. I want to believe you have gotten one thing or the other you have learned from this. So please join us again next episode as I take it from here to the next level. The ultimate purpose is what we are discussing. In case you are just joining us for the very first time, I want to thank you so much. I want to also encourage you to please help us share, make comment also, so that we can also learn from you. If there are questions you have, my contacts are on the screen. Please feel free to reach me. I'll be expecting you to call or send a WhatsApp message or an email. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day. See you next episode. Bye bye.